wanted to start by asking the two of you how crazy it is that Kat and Elliot are together. Is it sometimes too good to be true? Like, do you think there's something coming up?
I mean, here's the thing. When you spend your whole life dreaming about something and you finally get it, only at that point do you have to contend with how do I now live with this thing that is no longer an idea, it's an actual lived reality. So I think that both Kat and Elliot are working from the leading edge of their capabilities and being like, we're going to do this thing because we know it's what we want. But just wanting it doesn't mean you have the facility or the ability to do it. So I think that we're in for a journey, but hopefully a rewarding one because there's love there. It's like these characters deserve real love.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love you.
Evan, I wanted to talk to you. There's a lot going on with Elliot's backstory here. A lot of things that we never knew. I'm sure that as an actor, you had to fill in the blanks a little bit when you were acting him before. Is it what you expected? Is it different than what you expected? How has it changed like your perspective of your own character?
I'm thrilled that we're having the opportunity to look even further into like unpopping the hood and seeing into Elliot. I had conversations with the showrunners early on, sort of, so I knew the lay of the land, because in the beginning of season 1, I had to show a character that was the result of a 20-year gap from when we had last seen the young character. So I needed to know some of those things, which I've sort of been like carrying in my back pocket the whole time, and it has sort of like illuminated the way that I have played the character. But in typical this show style, you're always going to be discovering new things and guessing. So, but it wasn't so much that I was shocked by what we learn I know, I take it back. I was shocked by some things, but I'm not even going to get into those things. But I like, as far as it's Elliot's relationship with his father, it's so much an element of his relationship with Colton, and by extension, his relationship to Kat, and his relationship to the Landrys in general. So it's really, I think, beautiful that we get to have an empathetic journey and really understand Elliot in that way, and watch Elliot coming to understand himself in that way, because just because you grow up doesn't mean you're okay with how you grew up. You know, like a lot of times, especially as a kid, you're just trying to survive. You're just trying to make it through, and you make a lot of decisions when you don't necessarily have the facility to do so. And then you only can like work it out in retrospect. And one of the cool things about time travel is that retrospect, actually, we get to view it. We actually get to go there with the audience and physically be there, and maybe even tinker with it. Although, you know, what happens will always happen.
Mm-hmm. It's great too, though, because, you know, Elliot's never really opened up to Kat about his past and what's happened and the why. And so once, you know, Kat starts to encounter or experience some of it, that starts to unfold a bit towards the end, I think, like where they start to have conversations where I feel like Elliot feels that he can kind of at least express it a little bit more. What I'm excited about is, as a fan of my own television show, I love learning about all these things that happened when, you know, in Elliot's youth. And also like his dad's youth, and like really kind of coming to understand how people get where they are or why they do. They've done a beautiful job of being able to tell so many different stories, even in somebody who looks like the villain or somebody who looks like the bad person. We don't know what somebody has gone through. You know, someone's driving too fast and you hope that, you know, that there's some sort of emergency that they're doing that for. Like, we don't understand the reasons behind everything. So it's nice to start seeing and understanding that.
Chyler, for you, how was it to work with Spencer in such different scenarios? I think you two are such brother and sister in this season that you weren't necessarily before. How was it to do that connection now?
I absolutely adore Spencer as a human being, first of all. He's a wonderful, wonderful person and a phenomenal actor. And I've gotten to see his method and how he prepares. I have such great respect for him. We constantly laugh. Like it's actually really hard sometimes to do scenes with him because we get one look and then we're like, oh God, don't make eye contact anymore. Don't make eye contact. And we all get in trouble like that. We actually get in trouble for joking around too much sometimes. But to be able to, have both of those eras, all of those experiences. Day one filming with Spencer was the day that I find him on the beach. That was literally day one for him. And it was insane. A chaotic day that was so beautiful, but really heavy and intense. And he is such a pro and loves this story and this character so much. We've had a ball. And a lot of the stuff we did go through in season 2 in the 1800s was heavy. There's a lot more things to discover this season. It just gets heavier and heavier, but their bond, their love is so strong. And there's a few scenes that show that brother and sister dynamic that I absolutely love. You might know which one I'm talking about, but I absolutely love it. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah. It's been a whole lot of fun.